Grace and peace to you. I'm Todd Townsend, Bishop of Huron. As you can see, I'm outside again, bundled up. And in these parts, people who are over 80 are getting their appointments for vaccinations. There's more vaccinations on the way, and there are hopeful signs. There still, of course, are very dangerous outbreaks, and the numbers in these areas do not go down quickly enough. But we are inching in the right direction, and we are inching towards spring, and most importantly, we're inching towards Easter. Even in the midst of continuing loss and heavy grief, there are hopeful signs. To the people in the Anglican churches in the Diocese of Huron, I want to encourage you to be hopeful about our church life, even knowing that if things continue to go well, we're still going to be in at least one form or another of the amber stage church guidelines for many more months. But these guidelines do allow for many good things to happen. So I encourage the church leaders to have another good look at those amber guidelines if you haven't done so already. There's still a lot that we can do safely within those guidelines. And then we look forward to a time when it's safer still. Soon we'll be able to take some of these activities back outside for longer periods of time. The easiest thing, of course, is still to wear a mask and keep distance. Speaking of guidelines, the readings for the third Sunday of Lent this year have us looking at Exodus 20, the Decalogue, the Ten Commandments. And in the Gospel, we see Jesus in the temple throwing things around, trying to put a stop to commerce in the place of communion. And from the First Corinthian letter, we hear that great ode to the wisdom and power of God as revealed in the foolishness of the cross. Wow, preachers and scripture lovers have some great material to work from this week. The Ten Commandments are a summary of the law that most of us are familiar with from our various catechisms and teachings. Have no other gods, no idols, don't abuse the name of the Lord, remember the Sabbath, honor your parents. We notice that not all the commands are negative, some are positive, constructive. Then you get no murder, no adultery, no stealing, don't be a lying witness, and don't covet. This is all more than just good advice. It's a way to stay in covenant with God and with community, with neighbor. We notice the first thing that God is saying in there is, I am Yahweh, your God. God reveals the name and the relationship. I saved you. I made you free. You can trust me. I'm here. I'm alive. And I want to have a covenant relationship with you. So here's a little list that will begin to help you to do at least two things. One, not mess it all up. And two, stay on the path of life. If you fail to keep these commands, you will have not just committed some misdemeanor. You will have cut away at the very fiber of the divine-human relationship. So the Ten Commandments are important. They represent both the outer boundary and the way to live within the circle of the covenant. It's a gift. It's positive content. It's a guide for the redeemed. And it's help for the beloved people of God, guarding us against the way of death and pointing us to the way of life. May we open ourselves to the gift of this divine guidance this week. And until next week, may the God of mercy transform you by grace. Amen.